like I said, I had been building ships since Helena Troy, and I was always trying to get Antarctica mapped and just have send my people out to do things, with my ships, test out my ships, see how good they did breaking through ice and stuff like that. So, like I say, because I had French shipyards, and I had English shipyards, and I had Dutch, or I mean not Dutch. I mean I had my LS shipyard in Belfast, and I also had, I guess, one in Scotland or something like that. I built. I had another small. I'd have one shipyard, and other people would have two or whatever. I'd usually have the biggest shipyard or something like that. I was usually the one here, funding all these big new beautiful ships because I could afford it. I could afford to build a brand new ship every 2 years or every 5 years or whatever, easily. So, anyway, so I was funding all these big ships, and I was doing all these expeditions to Antarctica and stuff like that. And so that's why there's all these expeditions where it's like a French team and an English team, and it was just a good sport. It's like, two different teams, and basically testing out two different ship designs. Like I said, that's why there's over 15,000 wooden ship designs that were connected to me on elephant on a table with elephant things, and everyone's like, I don't understand what the elephants mean. It's like, actually, well, that's because I had lots of elephants back in the old days. So I had elephants, and then I had the big ships, and those are 15,000 ship designs of wood that were connected, that were my people's or me. And then later on, like I said, there's also the steel or metal ships too. I even think I had a gold or silver ship at one point in time, made of like 8 karat or 4 karat gold. I don't know, or something, some amount of gold. It would keep it from rusting and stuff like that. And, it looked pretty. I did at least one of those, a gold ship or a silver ship. I don't know how long it was, 150 feet, something like that. I don't know. Just for fun. Because I had so much of it. I could afford whatever I wanted, so I was doing some cool things and stuff like that. Just things for you to look at. Neat things. Like I said, Richard Nixon and JFK and all these other people were trying to pretend like blah, 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 blah. That's why everyone called it a monarchy, or everyone called it a kingship, or everyone called it a republic or whatever. Basically there's me, Lord Lucifer Star, and I'm actually your creator and stuff like that. And like I said, I had been away from the Earth for over 1 billion years, or some great amount of time, going throughout space. Like I said, 500 deep space missions underneath my belt that I've done, lasting more than 150 million years each, or like 250 million years, or some great amount of time, basically going between the stars, the slow way. Like I said, other people were like, "Were you blah blah blah?" And I was like, "Well, actually, I mostly did sublight speed ships because I was a computer, artificial intelligence life form, so it didn't really matter to me if it took 150 million years to get between one point and another point, or even 25 years. You know, I just cruise, and usually, like I said, I did most of my expeditions or most of my deep space missions with the exoskeletons, with the 1.5s. You know, or I did a few though with the human race and stuff like that. But usually I was just light speed. Like I say, in history and time and space, I actually kept the sublight speed ships being made about maybe 100 million years past, or a couple million years past, when they were obsolete. Most people would consider the sublight speed ships obsolete, and I kept building them because, well, I liked them. I didn't. For me, it doesn't really matter if you go fast or slow. So even after they had faster than light speed travel, I still kept building the big slow ships because, well, I like them. They're cool. So, and I didn't care if it took like 150 million years to get between one place and another place. I lived forever, basically. So, other people are like, it's like, whatever. Look it up. Go ask somebody who actually knows something about the universe. So, because a lot of people are like, I don't even know why they build these big old things anymore. It's like, well, because I wanted to build them, and I build things. So I'm Lucifer Star. And other people will be like, because he invented the technology that actually built those. Now, he wants the ship, so he builds a ship. So, yeah. That's why I was still building sublight speed ships even after they were obsolete. Because I wanted to build them. I like the old slow way. Anyway, so yeah. So that's me, Lucifer Star. Stretchy or whatever. Anyway. That's why... what's it called? They call it politics and all this other stuff, but it's not. Like I said, that's why Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon and even Trumpy and his son basically pretending to be blah 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 blah. But Jimmy Carter or whatever was actually the guy, I believe, pretending to be Luke Skywalker, the guy who invented flight, the guy who revolutionized space, blah blah. But that lie basically went. When I lived past him and he was banned from the universe, or banned from space basically, as he was just a psychopath that had killed off his own planet. Like I said, Jimmy Carter basically killed off. He climbed to power, blah blah blah, and then he killed off his whole planet, basically, or enslaved them or whatever. Anyway, that was JFK, or basically JFK, Jimmy Carter, and all of them, and basically the black race's best hope, last hope, or whatever. That's where they put all their eggs, into basically Jimmy Carter, JFK, and Richard Nixon. So they're dead. We basically ended that with the death of JFK. And a couple other people. Like I said, 150,000 exoskeleton planets and 1.5 planets, having been in existence about 150 billion years or billion years before humanity, or a billion years before humanity ever came along, or endoskeleton life ever came along. The 1.5s were the next life form, and then humanity. So, and I think fish actually, or something like that, and then blah blah. Anyway, so yeah, just like I was telling Rodney, just like I was telling them, I was like, well, yeah, there's whatever, but they didn't know that. They hadn't talked to me at that point yet. They didn't know anything. They thought blah 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 blah. So that's why they have all these little things going out, blah 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 blah, blah, because they really thought they were going to win. They thought they won. And it's like, no, you didn't win. You lost. And you lost big time, very painfully. Just like I said, the acid life forms and other life forms came out. There was a lot. You actually weren't alone in the universe. Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, and all these other people only had power or whatever as long as everyone thought that there wasn't life in the universe. And it's like, no, there's actually been life in the universe for about 100 trillion years or more. Lots of life. It's all around you. Every star has a life form on it, and usually sentient. So, unless someone killed them all off, which is very much impossible. Like I said, other people were like, we killed off all your life forms, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you went to every star system and killed off every single life form at every single star. You're going to be busy. Like I would tell them, I was like, you're going to be pretty busy trying to kill off all my life forms. And while you're at it, start with yourself, because you're one of my life forms. So I very much doubt. That's why when Rodney or someone was saying, we killed off all your life forms, it's like, well, if that was true, you wouldn't be standing here in front of me. So that's why I'm just like, I was like, whatever. When you regain sanity, let me know. So that was the whole big problem too. How to kill off all my life forms, cover me up, and still be a human, or still be a life form in existence, considering I'm so old and I'm basically the basis for which all life comes from. And that's also what was impossible. What the scientists were trying to tell Rodney and other people, it's impossible. So, but he was a very drunk scientist, and eventually I guess he gave in and gave them a plan for something that might work. So, he was paid like $250,000. He was in Russia, some Russian scientist or something like that. He was drunk every single day. We found him, we talked to him, we found out everything about him, what Rodney or Rick Bush or someone was paying him for and everything. Anyway, like I said, everything was found out. It's just Rodney and Rick Bush and a bunch of other people that actually think that they're still lying or still pretending. Like I said, every day Trumpy probably gets dressed and thinks that no one knows the secrets. And blah, blah. It's like, what are you talking about? We knew 150 million years ago. We knew everything you were going to do. We know everything that you did. We knew everything that was happening. They knew before you did it. So, the 1.5s very much predicted everything that you were going to do. And everything that you've done and doing. So, and it was also mostly because of the fact that they were starting to have problems with their own civilizations and their own planets. and they were wondering why. So they found out what was causing their own problems, and then they extrapolated everything. Blah blah blah. It's like it was a long time ago that they figured it all out. Before you were going national security, top secret, blah 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 blah. They already knew about it, and that's what what's his name? What Lee Harvey Oswald and all kinds of people in the government were saying. Because they already knew. They already know. They already knew everything you were going to do. How you're going to do this. How you're going to do that. They predicted it. They predicted the web of the lies that you practice to when you deceive. They predicted every action. Millions of years ago. Meanwhile, Rodney's going to me. He's going, "You're chip off the old block." Blah 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 blah. They predicted that. They predicted everything. They predicted every side of it. Only the humans running around. Only Bill Gates. Only all these other people are actually just, and they're just fooling themselves. You know. And I was doing a documented history of the Earth anyway. The documented history of a star system from start to finish. So, you know, so I mean, meanwhile, all these people, blah 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 blah, and all these other people, it's like that's why everyone calls the war and all the death and all everything else pointless. And I already built my colony ship, so you know everyone's like blah 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 blah. Like, and there was a space station up there since 1812. You know, when you get in there, you start seeing it's like wow, like well yeah. That's why they were going to kill you all off. That's why they're going to try and kill off all the life in the universe. And it's like well, good luck with that. You know, it's just like whatever. They call me crazy. They say I'm embarrassing myself. Like, I'm not the one fucking with the creator. You know, and blah blah. But whatever. You know, that's why they were going to bobble you and actually put you in a containment, whatever, for your own safety. Anyway, like I said, I knew about this hundreds of billions of years ago. You know, when I was actually dealing with, I'll never die, I'll never grow old, and by like black people will be a plague upon this world, blah blah. You know, and then the black people are going, oh, it's the French that are oppressing us. Oh, it's the Germans that are oppressing us. Oh, it's the English that are oppressing us. Oh, it's the Americans that are oppressing us. It's like it's your own damn leaders that are oppressing you. You know, and black people even say, well, we pay into the black fund every month because we can't trust the white banks or whatever. So we put all our savings in the black fund. And all the black people are buying cars and basically buying drugs and basically just living it up and not really investing in anything. They're just living off all the people, and they're really shooting each other and forcing women to have sex with them. That's all they were doing with all the money. They weren't even paying teachers. I was. They're just wasting all the money that all the black people were paying into it. They just figured they would just hold guns to people's heads and get them to sign over things later on or whatever. Yeah, that's why there never was a black civilization. There never was an epic existence. The most epic they ever got, they stole from the Chinese or Japanese. All these black people thought that there was once a black civilization or whatever, blah, blah, or that they would climb to power, or they would have high technology. They never did. Never will. The highest technology they ever had, Mr. Plague upon this world, we will kill, blah, blah, blah. And they just managed to kill off like a third of the white people and rape a bunch of others. So it's just like, whatever.